Hi, I'm James Schillinglaw, and I'm here in San Juan, Puerto Rico at the ASTA Global Convention. And we're here on the last day. I'm with Zane Kerby, who's president and CEO of ASTA. And it's been a great conference and got a lot done and a lot came out. We're going to talk to Zane about this conference and about ASTA in general. And you'll find out about all that and more on Insider Travel Report. Now, first of all, Zane, congratulations. Another good conference, and you just had a great one in Budapest that you and I were at. That was an amazing conference, and you got another amazing one coming up next year in Amsterdam for the ASTA River Cruise Expo. But how has this conference gone for you so far?
It's really been wonderful. It's wonderful to get together, to see people that we know, to learn from each other, to share, to meet with suppliers. So the ASTA Global Convention is the place where our leadership turns over too. So there's a lot of things happening, and it's been wonderful being in San Juan. They've been extraordinary hosts for the last couple of days.
It's been great. We're in a wonderful complex here, and then coming off that successful River Cruise Expo. And do you think you got hurt a little bit attendance-wise from that expo to here, because it was only about a month or two out, right?
Yeah, I think we actually have just as many advisors as we had last year in San Francisco. We had maybe slightly fewer suppliers to come and visit with us this year. So I'm not sure exactly why. Everyone makes their own decisions, but we're almost at 1,000, which we're a little over 1,000 last year. Okay. But we were very happy with the attendance and really happy with the quality of advisors who came.
No, absolutely, a lot of great people down here. And then you already know you got about 1,300 signed up for Amsterdam for the River Cruise Expo, and I was like, oh my God, is that going to dilute your Dallas conference, which is going to be the end of May next year? But then you made an announcement today that I think might help a little bit.
Yeah, well, we're really happy that we have a big name speaker coming next year. Just obviously a Grand Slam tennis champion, Venus Williams, is going to join us to be our keynote speaker, which we're really excited about. She's obviously has a story all her own, and really, really excited to be involved with her. And I think that the River Cruise Expo, there's a little bit of crossover between people who come there and go here, but the reality is that ASTA's events, they have their own unique value proposition. Right. And the River Cruise Expo is, we're happy when people go to that, and we're certainly happy when they come and visit us at our global convention. No, and it's been a great both conferences, and I was amazed how successful the River Cruise Expo has become, and hopefully we can duplicate that here, and with Venus Williams coming in. And that's the earliest I can remember you ever naming a keynote. Yeah, we did a little bit earlier this year. We thought it'd be nice to give people a great reason to sign up this year. Obviously, if you sign up this year before you leave, then you'll get a personalized picture with Venus next year. So hopefully it'll be an incentive for people to come and see her.
Yeah, well, I got to sign in if I want a personalized picture, right? Now, let's go back to some of the numbers questions. Now, you've had a plan, and your now former chairman, Mark Casta, was overseeing to have 20,000 members by 25. Where do you stand on that, and how are you going to achieve that by 2025?
Yeah, it's a heady goal, to kind of grow to double our size within a 5-year period. But we're well on our way. We're sitting right between 15,000, 16,000 members right now. So we've experienced extraordinary growth during Mark's tenure, because I'd say largely because of his leadership. And actually, the day that he appeared on Vicky Fried's Coffee Talk in September of 2021, within a 12-hour period, 1,400 people joined ASTA, which is pretty impressive.
That is great.
So Mark is just a fantastic spokesperson for ASTA, and he's been a wonderful chair to learn under. So Jackie Friedman, though,
you
don't lose a step with Jackie Friedman.
Your new chairman, Jackie Friedman, is a house of fire and has been great. Has been really active since 2012 in ASTA, about when you joined. That's right. And it really has been. She's going to be a great chair as well.
We have a wonderful working relationship and just have a ton of respect for everything that Jackie does.
Now, let's talk a little bit about another thing you sort of brought to light, the new mentorship program that you're doing. Talk us a little bit about what that was and why you unveiled it sort of here.
Well, we're putting the scaffolding in place, James, because, there's so many new people coming into our industry, and they really have to, but a lot of what travel advisors have, this tacit knowledge, this understanding of systems and complex, supplier bases and rules and all this. So it's really important that if we get people in, that they have the best chance of being successful. So that's what we did. We launched a mentorship program here. here, so both mentors and mentees can sign up. We already had several dozen sign up here at the show already. But yeah, it's just the idea of connecting with people who've been in the industry for a long time, who are great people at ASTA who give back, and they're good volunteer leaders, and this is one way that they can, again, pass on some of that tacit knowledge and really help people get the best start that they can.
And that's perfect. And aligned with that, you got support from Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings to support a kind of incoming new agents program, and also publicize the fact that being a travel advisor, I say agents, I should get I owe you $1. I got a demotion there. I got $1. Sorry, I've been around too long. To get new advisors to understand that this is a viable and really vibrant profession, right?
Well, I mean, being a travel advisor, there's never been a better time to become a travel advisor. I mean, the flexibility you have both geographically and with your time, the unlimited earning potential, and then really, I mean, you know this, we don't lose many players on this team. Once you come here, you realize what an awesome experience it is and what an awesome industry you work in. And so we look around, and I know there are people toiling in other industries that just, I think they would, if you're a complex problem solver, if you're sharp, if you're entrepreneurial, you're going to love being a travel advisor. Right. And so we want to obviously attract them to the profession and then bring them in and nurture them a little bit before they take those next few steps.
And then you got some money from Norwegian to just do that, and then also publicize the fact that this is a great profession.
It absolutely is. And an enormous thank you to Harry Somner and Frank Del Rio, everyone over at Norwegian for helping provide these resources. We can do a little we do a lot with a little that we have, but when we're able to get a sizable six-figure contribution like the one they made, it really lets us pour kerosene on this message and really push it out really broadly.
And I saw the hint of a campaign on video that I hope you do end up releasing more wide, with a video of why you should become a travel advisor. It was pretty impressive, I got to tell you.
Yeah, I mean, Erica Richter on our staff is our communications, outwardly facing communications vice president. She does wonderful work for ASTA. Her main job is telling the large multimedia operations here that using a travel advisor is the best thing to do. Always touting the value of using a travel advisor. But just behind that, it's like, hey, you know what? If you're not going to use a travel, or you're not going to be a travel advisor, then use a travel advisor. But hey, why don't you give a look at being a travel advisor?
It's not bad, and I think we successfully turned the corner of actually this being once again a desirable profession, something that people can make money doing and enjoy doing as well.
That's right. That's the key. It's a fun profession. It's a problem solving profession. It's a helping profession. I go into travel advisor offices all the time, and I'm amazed by the stack of cards in there on their desk from their clients saying, thank you for making my memories magical. Thank you for making my wedding, my anniversary, my whatever trip just wonderful. And I think more people ought to experience that.
Yeah, well, we dragged you in 10 years ago. You haven't left yet.
No, this is the best job in America.
There you go. When you came in, it wasn't, that's for sure. But you've made amazing changes during your tenure here, and it really has righted the ship, so to speak, even though we're not just selling cruises. But let's talk a little bit about how ASTA is addressing some of the big issues right now. I mean, obviously the big issue recently was this American NDC, and we've talked about this. Where are we with that issue? And basically, as American is just going to do what it's going to do, right?
Well, they've certainly made business decisions, I think, that to me feel a little short-sighted. They have definitely preferenced all of the other channels that they use, and they're what we would call gouging their corporate customers that book through Sabre and Concur.
Which is odd, because airlines used to live on corporate customers. Why do they want to upset with them?
You'd have to ask them. But we're actually really concerned about not only the precedent that it sets, but American Airlines has monopoly power in some pretty important markets here in the United States, and Charlotte and Dallas and Miami and Philadelphia. And when you make it expensive for your corporate customers in those markets, we really feel like there's an anti-competitive aspect to this. That's why we talked to the Department of Transportation, 5 of their members about 2 weeks ago, and why we're waiting for our meeting with the Department of Justice.
Now, have you had any conversations with other airlines that say, please don't go this route?
Well, we have had conversations with other airlines, and happy to say that others, Delta including, are taking a much more reasoned and sort of even-handed approach to this, to rolling out NDC. We're not against modern retailing. We're not even against the sort of.
I don't think you're against NDC. You're just against having everybody be on a level playing field and have access to all the fares, right?
We're against having forcing corporate America to choose between a lower price that that they'd find on AA.com and duty of care that they owe their employees. We're just principally opposed to that. So that's why we're opposed to the absolute breakneck pace of implementing NDC right now at regardless of the cost.
Yeah, well, and you got a couple other issues on your plate that you'll be discussing here for ASTA Legislative Day. One obviously is the FAA reauthorization. You're trying to prevent more burdens on travel advisors, on disclosures, and a lot of things like that. That's coming up, right?
Yeah, that is, and it expires September 30th, and as you say, there's 67 members on the House Transportation Committee and 17 members on the Senate Commerce Committee, and we're getting around and visiting all of them right now. We want to make sure that they're thinking about travel advisors when they're writing the points of this bill. And again, it's looming. I mean, it's going to expire around the corner, and we want to make sure that no more disclosures are added to the travel advisors, and that hopefully there's a couple on the books that we can get rescinded.
Yeah, and then the other big issue is this Department of Labor. We're back at it again. We thought we were done, and now they're looking at a definition of independent contractor of a worker, and they're re-examining that whole thing. So where are you with that?
Yeah, it's a slight step backwards. I think under the Obama administration, they used a sort of a five-pronged approach in terms of what determines a independent contractor. That included things like profitability and right of control and investment levels. That it seems like the Biden administration is going back to that kind of definition rather than the Trump administration's definition under their Department of Labor, which was a little more narrow and actually a little more clear for our members. So while it's not something as egregious as the ABC test that was implemented in California in 2019, it is cause for concern. We certainly have filed our comments with the Department of Labor, and hopefully they'll come out and make sure that our members is not putting any sort of burdensome regulations or lack of clarity for travel advisors who have independent contractors.
Well, absolutely, since that is the host model, with independent contractors become one of the predominant models in the business right now. Your largest agencies are that. There's still some brick and mortars out there, obviously, but there's a lot of people who are working as independent contractors for large hosts or small hosts, so making sure that's well defined. Now, anything else you can think of that came out of this conference you want to tell our viewers about? Anything else that you want to get out?
Well, just that it's such a celebration of the profession. That's what I love about the Global Convention. Again, we hand out a ton of awards. We recognize, travel advisors for the great work that they do for the consumers, how they stand out amongst their peers in terms of building and fostering community. Because there's enough business to go around out there. It's just that, it's just a wonderful time to come and sort of celebrate the profession. So I hope that more of them will join us next year in Dallas.
And indeed, we had Travelation Appreciation Day, the Travel Advisor Appreciation Day here just yesterday, right?
Yeah, that's right. It was great. Yeah.
That's you do that on purpose, right?
That was Erica Richter, absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, Zane, I want to thank you. It was great to be here as always. Great and you got a lot of stuff coming up. You got the ASTA Legislative Day. I think you want to get more people down that in June. That's when is it? June
21st, 22nd, and we have a number of states that only have one person coming. So when you imagine, we want, when we go into these congressional offices, we want them to see multiple travel advisors. We want you might be the only travel advisor that they see all year, and so we want them to be thinking about you. So anyone that would like to come to Legislative Day, we'd certainly welcome along.
And then you got your River Cruise Expo in Amsterdam next March, I believe.
March 13 to 16, I believe. 16,
which, although it's already sold out, so you better get on a waiting list if that's right.
Yeah, that's right. Over 300 on the wait list right now too, which is great. Yeah, that's going to be a wonderful addition. We'll have 12 ships, over 1,500 people total. So it's 1,500 advisors.
Two more than we had this past year, right?
Yeah, well, we had 650. Yeah, two more ships.
It was
double the advisors.
Absolutely. And we both got lucky enough to get on a river cruise afterwards, so that was excellent. So, and then finally, you got this conference coming up the end of May next year, and if you want to see Venus Williams, head on out to Dallas, right?
Super. Yep. Thanks, James.
Zane, again, thank you for a wonderful conference, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.
It's great to be with you.
I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.